What's going on, y'all? This your boy, Chris Sims, coming to you with another podcast episode. As always, I'm with my partner in crime. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Miss Sandra Cruz. What's going on with you, girl? How you doing?
Hey, I'm sitting here in this heat, man. It's like
All right.
90, but it feels like it's 120.
Woo-wee, man. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. See, it ain't too hot out here, man, but it is in the 80s. So it's relatively warm. I'm looking forward to after this podcast, going outside, playing some basketball for a little bit and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really loving this beautiful weather, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so glad the weather has finally broke and I don't have to deal with no more cold days as of right now. I won't
Yeah.
have to deal with too many more cold days because I don't know if I made this announcement or not. I don't think I did. No, I did not. But I am actually moving to the ATL officially. Me and my cousin, we were able to lock in on an apartment that we liked. So we're able to move down there July the 12th. So that will be my scheduled moving day to my new apartment down there in the ATL. I'll be moving my cousin.
Hey.
Like I said, man, I've been trying to get down there for a minute, and now the time has finally come to where I can move down there and just enjoy myself for real, make some new connections. Uh, I'm just very excited how, like, in Atlanta, like, the weather is really, really nice. Like, it's got really seasonable temperatures. It stays warmer for longer, which is what I'm really excited about because, I know, like, up here, like, it's nice in the summer. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, being up in Ohio, they have really nice summers. It does get hot. Don't get me wrong. Like, it does get hot. It does, get close to 100 degrees sometimes. But the summers are relatively warm. Average temperatures in the 80s. But I know in Atlanta, the summers are hot, but the winters are
Oh, yeah.
warm. And that's the part that I like is where I don't have to see.
Well, I
No.
have to say though, I gotta stop you. Them winters be chilly over there. There are fireplaces and houses because it does get cold. But one thing it doesn't do is snow. It rarely ever snows. So I don't think you'll ever have to worry about snow. And a little bit of snow falls on the ground and they're not prepared for it, so they shut down everything.
Yeah, see, it's a little different. See, me coming from the north, it's going to be a little different. See, cold to them is not necessarily cold to me. You know what I'm saying? Cold to them is like 40, 50 degrees. That ain't cold, bro. That's spring.
No, you'd be surprised, yo. I mean, maybe it's because I live here in Puerto Rico, but let me tell you something. You'd be surprised. There was a bunch of nights that it was freezing, like 30, 20s, like super cold.
Oh, man, that ain't nothing, man. Try negative. Try
I
negative
know.
degrees. You know what I'm saying? That ain't nothing.
I know. When I lived in Connecticut, negative was horrible.
Oh, man. Yeah, that ain't nothing, man. That's like the low temperatures in Atlanta is the high for us. You know what I'm saying? Like you talking about at night. Like I know it gets cold at night, but during the day it's warm. See, 30 degrees, that's the high for us during the winter. So
Yeah.
y'all ain't never see y'all from the south. See, y'all blood probably a little thinner. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't got that thick wool, y'all got that thick blood, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, man, like I said, I'm just very excited to move down there, man. And I was able to go home last weekend for Memorial Day weekend. I had like my little graduation party at the house, which is why I did not release an episode on this Monday. That's why you probably didn't see an episode out just because like I took that time to spend time with my family. Sandra, she I gave her the time to do what she needed to do because she needed a break. she need a break. You know what I'm saying? Like she had a lot of stuff going on. Like, yo, it's a holiday, let's take a break. So, we took a break and now we back on the podcast. So I'm very excited to be back on the mic, man. I've been pretty busy throughout the day, man, and but yeah, I'm just glad to, be able to be back on the mic as well. But anyway, I'm still on the basic Zoom plan. So we'll only get like a limited time. It's telling me only get 40 minutes. I might have to bite the bullet and pay for this thing, even though I don't want to, honestly. I don't want to pay for extended minutes. I don't want to pay for time. I really don't. I just think that's a dumb concept. but I might have to give in, man, unless I can find something. I've been trying to look. I've been trying to find Teams, Google Meet, but none of them had a record button. So I might have to just stick with Zoom and get like a advanced plan. But with that being said, we're gonna get into today's topic, man. And today's topic, man, I wanted to title it "Create Your Own Agenda." Right? That's gonna be the title. Create your own agenda. Because sometimes, man, we feel as people, we feel so obligated to do things, run around here, do things for others, run errands for other people, that we forget the things that we want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I was thinking about this when I was, on my little break from the podcast for real. There's nothing wrong with taking a break every now and again. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you've been doing something for so long, right? You've been cranking out stuff for so long, man, like, with your job, with your business or whatnot. Don't feel like it's unacceptable for you to take a break. You know what I'm saying? Especially nowadays, with social media and everything. Some people so afraid to just like get off that board and just relax and just be able to, de-stress from all that. Cause some people like now, like they feel so obligated to post something on social media just because like they feel like, oh, if I don't post for today, then I'm gonna lose followers, I'm gonna lose likes or whatever. And we forget to take that time to ourselves because we so busy trying to satisfy other people that we forget to satisfy ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We operate on other people's agenda and how they view us and how they want us to look and stuff like that. But it just came to me, it came to realization. I was like, man, like I even, put a podcast episode out. But I wasn't guilty because I've been putting out episodes week after week after week. That I was like, okay, like, you know, it's time to just relax for a little bit because sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's good to like, really do things for yourself away from what you normally do because that could really recharge you. Sometimes we get so used to going and going and going and going that we don't have time to recharge and to be able to do things that can help refresh our mindset if we always go on the run. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's like sometimes like we get so occupied with doing things for the people that, when's the last time you ever did something fun for yourself? You know what I'm saying? When was the last time that you worked on something that you wanted to do, not what somebody else wanted you to do? And I know that's challenging. That's very challenging, especially if you got a job and you got a 9 to 5 job and your boss expects you to, want to do this and that and X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, man, it's like if you think about it, you don't have to do anything. You know what I'm saying? You really don't. I mean, I understand like now it's like, okay, like I gotta go out and do what you gotta do. Like I'm not saying like don't go out and work, don't do what you gotta do, but sometimes like you gotta really think like, if you don't like what you're doing and you don't like where you're spending your time, like who's telling you that you gotta do that? Just think about it, man. You know what I'm saying? And you could devote that time to, let's say you working at your job, you don't like it, you can devote that time to doing something else. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that's saying that, oh, I gotta work 9 to 5. Like nobody's telling you to do that. Like you chose to do that. You know what I'm saying? But again, like it's all about creating your agenda. Like if you got something else that you want to do it, man. You know what I mean?
I
Cause
think I think you made an important point too, because you said, don't be afraid to kind of take time for yourself. It's important that we do that, because you need to create balance. Because if not, what you are doing, if you really do like it, let's say you're doing something that you really like and you're becoming successful at it. I put myself in that position, my business. So I know that I am working a 9 to 5, I'm working several projects at the same time. But I know that if I don't take time out for myself, the time that I do spend on what I do like on my business is not going to be well worth it because I'll be rushing through it. I'll be so overloaded from everything else. So it's important that you do take time out for yourself and that you do take time out to, like I like to call it bits of love. It sounds corny, but it is. It's bits of love because you are now taking care of yourself so that you can have the energy to go on and do the things that you do want to do. And it's important that you align, like you said, if you're not doing anything that you really want to do, you know, I'm going to put it out there. And I know this sounds so weird, but okay, so I'm a mechanic. I really don't like what I'm doing 9 to 5. I want to own my own mechanic shop. Well, what are you doing to get there? What are the steps that you're taking? Are you balancing yourself out to get there? Are you creating the activity to get there? You know, so it's aligning with your purpose and what you want. I think it goes so much broader than, you know, it's taking care of yourself, aligning with what you want, making sure that you have that time and that you're healthy so that when you do sit down to do what you want to do, your mind is fully capable, your mind is there 100%. Being what's the word called, being walking in your purpose really is what it is, making sure that you're getting things done with a purpose, you know, and not just sitting there going, well, I'm working this 9 to 5 and running myself into the ground, but I'm not taking any time for myself. So I think that was a really good point because it also helps. This is always connected mindset. So whatever your mindset is at the time is how you're going to react. And if you're not at peace and you don't feel comfortable with what you're doing, then it's just going to be counterproductive on
Mm-hmm.
so many levels.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, nowadays, man, like, you know, let's say you about that 9 to 5 grind, like, and I'm not trying to take nothing away from that either. Like, you know, nowadays, man, you know, that's the thing. Like, we can work remote now. So there's an
Yeah.
opportunity. So if you don't like, let's say you don't like going in the office, like you like, oh man, I don't want to go in the office, bro. I'll tell you, like sometimes, you know, people underestimate the power of working from home. Like, I don't think you really understand that. Cause like let's say you want to, you know, make your money, stack your bread up and do all that stuff, man. Like there's plenty of opportunity for you to like work remote. Cause here's the thing about working remote is like you get to basically control how your day goes. Because you think about like going into an office setting, and I know like, you know, my old school folks, you know, they always talking about, oh yeah, like, you know, it's so much better to be in an office, which, you know, it is like, you know, you get that social interaction and stuff like that. But for me personally, growing up in the new age, it's like working remote, it has so much benefits, man. It's like who is like you think about like who's watching you. And again,
Yeah.
that's where you can, you know, be able to be disciplined enough to be like, okay, like I can get, you know, this work done in this allotted time, and I'm gonna take my own breaks. So like you can basically take as many breaks as you want for real. Like as long as you doing what you're supposed to do, I mean, you can really like control your time. Like, you know, I take like, you know, with what I do, like I take like, you know, hour and a half for lunch for real, because it's like I need that time to recover. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, you know, sometimes like, you know, the type of environment you do, the type of work environment can really play a factor on, okay, like, can you really create your own agenda? Because if you used to going in and you having people hovering over you, sometimes it's hard because like you want to do
Yeah.
your own thing, but it's like somebody there watching you for real. But you know, that could be a suggestion, like if you want to take control of your time, like remote, like going remote. You know, I noticed that when I was in school, like when I was taking online classes for real. I was taking them before the pandemic as well. And I realized like how much more time I had in my day, you know what I'm saying, versus like having to take that time to walk to class, sit in class for 2 hours, you know what I'm saying. I could work on my own pace. And that
Yeah.
gave me time to, you know, hang out with friends more, you know, go to the rec, you know, play basketball, work out, do all the things that I love to do, man. Because again, it's like it's your life. And I always say that it is your life and you got to take control of what you want to do. Like we were not meant, we were not created to live life and dread life every single day.
No.
Like, you got to think about that. It's like did God really put us here to feel like we got to suffer every single day?
You know, and now that you say that, it's an interesting point. Like you said, we were not meant to be put on this earth to suffer and cry, but do really, I think a lot of times people consciously don't realize that what they're doing is in aligning with what they want. It's like people go in opposite directions. Well, I really want this, but here I am suffering at this job or in this position or where I'm at in life. And so I get stuck. And so I said, well, how do I go about getting what I want and being able to do what I need to do? Because I have a family, because I have whatever going on, or I have to pay bills, or I have to pay an apartment. I think I'm a perfect example. And I hate to put myself in the middle. I think I'm a perfect example because I left the corporate world. I was working a 9 to 5. I left to work on my own to become a life coach. And let me tell you something, it's not always that easy. It's not always that easy, but it's well worth it. And so when I was working 9 to 5, I had to get up in the morning. I had to get in some traffic, even though I was close to work, maybe like 2, 3 minutes, but I still had to go in traffic, find parking, get out, get dressed in the morning, make sure I had breakfast, make sure my lunch was ready. So there was an hour already out of my day. And then my lunch over there was an hour, but it was an hour to go eat, come back. And then I had to spend time in traffic going back home. So a part of that when I started working remote changed because now I was able to work remote, even though maybe they were giving us instructions every day because I worked a little bit different. I worked on projects. So you have an instructor and a supervisor all day. But at the same time, I was able to get my laundry done if I had to. I would just put it on mute, go like on mute while we were scoring and go put my laundry in real quick, come back as long as my stuff was done. I know plenty of other people who work remote and do the same thing. So it is for those who can, I think it's a really good experience. I've known people who don't like that experience at all, who would rather get the social interaction, rather get up to go to work, rather. And I think it just depends on the type of person you are, and it depends where you are at work. Because some people do like that 9 to 5 hustle, but a lot of people, I think now in the newer age, like you said, are getting used to working from home. I can tell you, I like working from home. I like having the flexibility. I like doing because I can take time out to do the things I need to do, like go to the gym in the morning if I have to.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
So
And it's like working remote is like you can be wherever. See, that's the thing, like that people don't understand. Is like you don't have to be like in a certain location. If you love spending time on the beach, think about it. If you love spending time on the beach and that's your happy place, you could work on the beach in your happy place, spending time at the beach. So when you get done with work, you can go on the beach and play, man. You know what I'm saying? You can go in the water. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta think, man. Like you gotta have so much of that time. You know what I'm saying? But aside from just like working from home, it's like you should feel like if you want to do that, if you want to do that more often, I feel like you should. And a lot of people feel like they can never enjoy their favorite activity as often as they do is because they feel like somebody's always controlling them. If you got somebody telling you, oh, where to go, what to eat, what to wear, what to do, it's like that's where you have been controlled mentally.
I think that now that you say that control mentally, you know what? People have been so ingrained in the older society. And I can tell you this because I was born in the 80s. When we were born, or when I was born, it was go to work, go to school. Internet didn't exist. None of this existed. Amazon didn't exist. eBay wasn't even a thing. So it was like, okay, go to work, go to school, and then when you get out of school, you find a job 9 to 5 that can support you, and you have a family. That was what it was like. That was what society painted a picture of. But now that we're coming into a new age where everything is done on the internet, everything is done at a fast pace. There's nothing done at a slow pace. There's so much technology, so much information rolling out that people are now finding ways to do things that are different. And I think that not a lot of people have had that awakening of how can I do things differently? How can I get to the point where I'm happy and doing what I want to do? People don't necessarily, I think subconsciously, they don't know how to align what they want with where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know how to make that shift. Why? Because they feel if they make that shift, loss of money, loss of wages, loss of this, loss of that. So what they're tend to focusing on is what they don't have versus what they do have. So their losses instead of their wins. And so that's where the disconnect comes from. And they say, well, are you kidding me? I can't do that. I can't leave where I'm at. I can't do what I'm at to follow my dream. I can't get to where I want to go. So they subconsciously still keep going in this 9 to 5, but don't create the activity to get to where they really want to be.
Mhm.
And sometimes where they really want to be is that 9 to 5. Okay, so what are you doing to keep it? What are you doing to get ahead in that job? What are you doing to get, you know, in anything? And people really just truly, because of fear, they don't align with it. But if they would just take that one shot,
Mhm.
then they would know when it didn't work out. And if their self esteem was high enough and it didn't work out, they'd know that this wasn't a failure. This is just, okay, I got to figure out another way to do it. And they would become more confident, more self esteem would arise, and more people would be aligning with what they want because of the feel good after it.
Mhm. Yeah, and the thing is, like, if you do like working your 9 to 5, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Then don't be like, oh, I ain't got no time. But it's like, bro, how do you manage your how do you manage your time? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, what are you doing, like, on the in the time frame that you're not working? Like, what are you doing? And that's the thing, is like, I've said this multiple times, everybody gets 24 hours in a day. So it's like,
Yep.
okay, you go to work at 9, you get off at 5. Okay, what are you doing after that? You know what I'm saying? It's not like school. See, that's the thing with work. That's the thing with work versus school. When you go to work, you do what you're supposed to do at work, then you done. With school, it's like, okay, you go to class for like 2 hours, you go to like maybe like 2 or 3 classes, maybe like an hour, 32 hours a piece. Then you gotta come home, then you gotta do homework. See, that's different. You know what I'm saying? So in school, you in
Way
school, it's a little different because teachers give you homework, which I don't understand the point of homework, because like it's like, if I'm in your class for 3 hours, you're telling me that you didn't have time to go over stuff in that 2 or 3 hour period. That don't make sense. But when you working, it's different, because when you come home from work, you home from work, and you basically get whatever is left of your day. So what it just depends on, like, okay, what do you do for the remainder of the day? And a lot of people, they so worn out that they just come home, relax, and then they do it all over again.
and they do it all over again. And then you hear them, and I won't say a majority of them, but half of them are complaining. Oh, I hate this job. Oh, I hate what I do. Oh, I don't like what I do. But again, what are you doing with that remaining time? For me, when I was in my 9 to 5 and I wanted to become a life coach, I knew that there was some way I had to make it happen. And I was still working 9 to 5. So guess what? Sandra would come home and she would study. I looked for the school. I enrolled in the school. I decided, I chose my days and how they were going to go. I did a schedule, a calendar, because I wanted to get there no matter what. So what is it that, people are doing, like you said, within that time to get where they want to go? And we're not saying that you got to take over Rome in one day, but what are you doing? Even just a simple phone call. Okay, I want to join XYZ club, or I don't know, I want to start looking for a new job, perhaps that is remote. Let's just say that's the objective. Then what are you doing when you get home? Are you just watching TV and then hoping that a job will land in your lap, or are you actually setting aside time before you make dinner, or after you make dinner, before you go to bed, an hour to be on Indeed.com? Is your resume updated on there? What steps are you taking to get there? I think
Right.
that's so key, and a lot of people miss out on that. And then they start to tell you, well, that's just a dream that I had. And I hate when people say that, because dreams can become reality, because dreams, you make them happen. They don't just fall in your lap. So what steps are you willing to take to get there?
Right. And again, that's another way you can effectively manage that time that you have, is like,
Yeah.
okay, let's say you don't like doing what you do. Sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do in order to get to what you want to do. So
Yep.
again, it's like, okay, you got that time. Let's say you work Monday through Friday and you get the weekends off. That weekend should be dedicated to, okay, I'm going to put everything I got into the dream that I want to do. Right. Versus like, okay, I'm gonna binge watch a series on Netflix for like 8, 10 hours. It's like, man, Like like what's up? Like what that ain't gonna get you. Hey, if you want to really if you want to achieve something and you've been trying to go after something big that you want in your life, hey, listen, nothing wrong with Netflix. If you like watching Netflix, I ain't got no problem with that. But if you ain't in a place to where you want to be in your life, Netflix is not the solution. You cannot
Nope.
expect dreams to just fall in your lap because you watching a motivational documentary on Netflix. Like that's not gonna happen. You can watch it and you can gain some insight. There's nothing wrong with learning, but then at the end of the day, you gotta apply what you learn. You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing things that's not related to what you're trying to do, then you probably need to take that out. Because again, it's all about how do you manage that time. If you
Yep.
want to create your own agenda and you want to be able to have that, you want to be able to do something that can allow you to be able to create your own agenda, you got to be able to put in the work to do that. It's like, entrepreneurship is one of the ways that you can really set yourself up for that. But
Yeah.
it's not as easy as people say it is, because again,
Not.
you got to really dedicate your time to your business. But once you put in that hard work though, right? Once you get everything sorted, right? Then that's when you can enjoy the fruits of the labor. So
Yep.
again, like creating your own schedule, it takes work. Even if you create your own schedule, you got a plan. You know what I'm saying? So again, if you want to get to where you want to be, if you're not where you want to be in your life and you want to get to that point, that's where you got to use that time to work on it. Because if you don't, then it's not going to happen for you.
Yeah, I think that using your time effectively is huge. Sometimes people don't use their time effectively, like you said, 8 to 9 hours on Netflix. I've never understood that. It's so funny because I have a friend and I love her to death, and she'll tell me she's a doctor though, so she works night shifts, and she says to me, "Ah, on my day off, she binged the whole night." I'm like, "Girl, how can you do that?" I'm like, I can't even see Netflix and be all night on it. I fall asleep. Again, your time, where is it going? How effective is it that you're on 8 hours but you're not doing 8 hours on Netflix but you're not doing anything to get where you want to go? And if it's because of fear, some people do have that fear. That's why they don't confront and get to where they want to go, because they have that fear. If it's fear, don't fear it. There's nothing to fear. What are you going to fear? I mean, there's a saying in Spanish: from the floor you can't fall. You
Mm.
fall on the floor, you can't fall nowhere else. So you get back up and you do it. And I think that's what some people have, that fear of change. That's why they don't really align with those things. Or, yeah, 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 I'll get to it. Or maybe tomorrow. Or they put it off, the classic. No, 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 tomorrow. No, 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 tomorrow. And one of the things I learned as becoming my own entrepreneur and, life coach, I've had to make my time. I've had to sit down really and make my time. And let me tell you something. I get up and I don't turn on the first thing I don't turn on the TV. I don't, none of that. First thing I do is meditate, get my day into order, get dressed, straight to the gym, come back, breakfast, and I start my day of work. Whether it's creating, whether it's looking over, whether it's finishing up the course I'm taking. And like you said, not everything is going to fall into its place like it should be. Nothing happens boom, boom, boom. But what does happen is you start to create that momentum and you start going forward and you start aligning with what you really want when you
Mm.
start changing those habits.
And I think one mindset, and I know we got like 9 minutes and like 30 seconds left, but I think one mindset that most of us fall victim to is that consumer mindset. And the consumer mindset is where it's like, okay, like we gonna get money. So like a lot of people, they want to get money, right? But then they want to spend it, right? Versus investing in like a business or investing in whatever their dream is, investing in equipment, if you want to be a musician, like investing in like guitar or piano, or investing in something that's going to help get to where you want to be. Like, if you want to be a marathon runner, like investing in shoes, investing in, just whatever that can give you that success going forward. But a lot of us, we take our money, or we take our time and we invest it in things that's not going to allow us to propel forward. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us like, all right, we're gonna get money. I'm gonna work this job so I can go out and buy clothes. Nothing wrong with that. Or, I want to be able to you know, pay for this expensive car, expensive this, expensive that. Like a lot of us getting that consumer mindset to where it's like we put in money into things that are more liabilities instead of assets. You know,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I think too, it's like priorities. Where your priorities at? You want that expensive car, or you want or you want that big company that's going to give you for that and more, or you want to, make your own company that's going to allow you to do much more than what you can in buying that expensive car. I think that's a whole nother other topic too, because it's interesting when you start to get into that consumer mindset, how social media affects all that, and how people think that getting rich is so easy, because then
yeah,
everybody wants to be that influencer or buy this bag and have that. But when you take a look at their lifestyle, they're nowhere, they just got an expensive bag, but
right. They
broke.
got, they got all these bills, all this debt, you know what I'm saying? Just trying
Yeah.
to play somebody else, man. Again, it's like you look at like what rich people do. Rich people, what they do, they take money and they invest in assets. That's how
Yeah.
they create wealth. You know, they go from being rich to being wealthy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us just like, all right, we just gonna throw our money away, at the club, we're gonna throw it away on drinks, you know what I'm saying? We just like trying to, take our money, take our time and our money and put it into a place. Like I said, nothing's wrong with doing that stuff. Nothing's wrong with doing that. But it's like, okay, like if you're not where you want to be in your life, like maybe like going out to the club every weekend, turn it up. I would try. I would do something different. You know what I'm saying? Because going
I
to the
would
club,
reevaluate
right? I would
what.
probably buy some books or something. Buy some books on how to get to where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? So again, creating your own agenda, right? Create your own agenda, knowing what you want to do with your time. Because again, your time is something that you don't get back. I mean, you can get money back. That's the thing. Like people always like, I want to work for money, but it's like, okay, like money is always gonna be here. Like, money comes and goes. Like you'll get money back. Like if you work another 40 hours, you'll get money, right? But the time that you get is something that you can't print time. So you can print money, but you can't print time. So again, think about that, man. Think about that for a second. So, if you wasting your time trying to go out and get money, it's like for doing something that you don't want to do, is like, again, what do you value more? You know what I'm saying? Because again, like you can get money doing something else, but you can't get your time back for the amount of time you wasted doing it. So again, think about it,
Yeah.
man. Think about it. Okay. But all right, man. Thought that was a really great episode, man. Check us
Yeah.
out on Instagram. Check me out on Instagram at Disinfecting Your Life. That's no spaces, no capitals. Also, check out Sandra on Instagram at Sandy Yvette. She is all, you can find her Instagram. Like if you go to my page, I'll link her in all the little clips that I post. So you can definitely be able to find her Instagram on there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's been a great show today, man. Like I said, man, if y'all got questions or if y'all got feedback, let us know. Hit us up, man. Let us know how these shows are. Let us know like, what you like, what you don't like, you know what I'm saying? But I love to hear feedback from some of y'all, man. Let me know, like, is what I'm saying resonating with y'all and everything like that. Is what Sandra's saying, is it resonating with y'all, man? We'd love to get some feedback from the community, man. So definitely hit us up on Instagram, like I said. And don't forget, man, check out my book, Step Towards Your Purpose. It's available on Amazon. So definitely go check that out, man. I remember when I came back home, man, I remember like the people that was at my party, man, it was really impressed. And, some of them read it and it was like, man, like, I had some good stuff in there, man. Like, so I'm telling y'all don't want to miss out on that. So definitely go check that out. And also check out my merch, man. It's all of that is in my bio. If you click on that link, I'll take y'all all to the links under that link tree in there. So definitely go check that out, man. But nonetheless, man, that's all I got for y'all today, man. This your boy, Chris Simmons, alongside partner in crime, Sandra Cruz. We out.
Bye.
Y'all, peace.